What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. So what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? I appreciate y'all for always continuing to tune in and rock with me. Last night, as usual, was wild. Last night was wild as usual. Tonight, we're going to do the same thing all over again. My life is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Shout out to your car. No fumble on a Friday. Shout out to all of the mods. Shout out to K. Cooper, Osriel, Trini Life. Don, the architect. I see you, big dog. Just Christian. Turnaround flights is crazy. Well, it wasn't really a turnaround flight because a turnaround flight is you fly there in the morning, you take care of your business, you fly back at night or in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? I remember during certain times during the pandemic, I would fly to a different city just to have lunch with somebody, and then I would fly back the same night. So I like that. I like that. I like being able to connect with people and fly out. Look for some things to come out soon between me and my friend Aristotle. Shout out to Aristotle. I love you, big bro or little bro. You're the little bro because you're younger than me. But yeah, man, I like kicking it with people. I like flying out and kicking it with people, having dinner, having lunch, chopping it up. I'm out the next day. I don't need to be sitting around getting in no trouble, finding myself in situations that I don't need to be in. I'm out of there. So flew in there on Wednesday afternoon. We kicked it, we chopped it up, hung out. He got a penthouse there, so we chopped it up with him. And then I flew back yesterday evening. And here's the crazy part. So I fly back, I go to the crib, I'm hanging out with Leslie, Rita, and all of that stuff. And then this morning, I'm like, because I still got my luggage, I still have my luggage in the car or whatever. So this morning I said, all right, so I'm gonna go straight to the studio. I'm gonna cook up because I got clothes and everything at the studio. Go to the studio, ain't got no keys. My keys was here downtown in the apartment. So this is why you see me live streaming here. I'm overlooking the water. I see all of the boats out there. It's a lot of boats outside today. So shout out to all of the boats. I see everybody boating. I see some people fishing. It looked pretty dope. I see the construction workers working. I see the downtown workers working. I see the Canadians coming over from Canada to come work over here in the United States of America. I see it's a lot going on. It's a lot happening. The city was pretty pumped last night. It was a lot happening with the draft and playoffs and all of that stuff. So, yeah, this is why I'm here. I said skip it. My fate is my fate. And so I came here, I had to undo my luggage, wash a couple dishes. You know what I'm saying? I made myself some breakfast, threw a couple loads in the washing machine. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get things together at home, straighten up, get some files situated how I wanted to get situated. And then I got to go out and take care of some stuff and be looking at the property. So I'm going to be dropping a vlog probably tomorrow. I'm going to drop a vlog on Darth Anton tomorrow, and we're going to get it in. What's going on, y'all? What's happening? Let me say this also for the fellas, because, you know, I got to get some spring cleaning going on in here, and I want to make sure that everything is as tidy as I want it to be. Y'all got to learn how to do for yourselves also. Having a wife or cleaners and stuff is a nice to have, but sometimes I just want to get in there and get it done myself. Like, cleaners come in and they do like the dusting, they'll do like, you know, the windows, they'll, you know, sweep, mop, dishes, they do the general stuff. But every once in a while, like every month or so, I got to get in there and I got to make sure that it's done myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the way I was raised to never have to depend on a woman. I know guys in real life that older guys, I don't know about the younger guys, but I know some older guys in real life that cannot even exist. They don't even know how to make their own lunch. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I know women and wives that have to make sure that they prep stuff so that their husband is straight if they decide to go and visit their mother in a different state, or if they decide to go and do this, or they decide that they have to, the man just be like a bumbling idiot. I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that there were men that did not know how to wash clothes, or did not have to do dishes, or did not know how to do dishes, that don't know how to clean up their own bathroom, that don't know how to iron their own clothes. And I don't know if they just trying to be like, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. But it is guys that have been married since they were 18 years old. And again, they're older than me, and they have no clue on what to do. They don't know where the dishwashing liquid is. They don't know where the vacuum is. They don't know none of that stuff. It's crazy. So my message to you before we get started in the show today is learn how to take care of yourself. And it doesn't mean that you can't let a woman or let your wife or let somebody else be able to add value, but you should know how to get yourself together. You should know how to get yourself together. Real talk. Kay Cooper said, that's pretty sad. I taught my son how to cook and clean early. I don't understand. Y'all, so, and I be thinking to myself, because that's the older generation, because I'm talking about guys that's like in their 50s, 60s, whatever, maybe even approaching 70, some of them. And I'm looking at these newer people and I'm like, wait a minute, dog, you don't know how to wash your ass? You confused on how to set your own dentist appointment? Because like when we have conversations on after hours and stuff, and you know, we may ask the question, well, what would a woman do in order to bring value into a man's life and stuff like that? And the conversation be so basic. And the women be like, oh man, no, I could set your dentist appointments and set up your doctor's appointments and stuff. Man, I got a calendar. What you talking about? I know how to. When you leave the dentist, they literally say, hey, so do you want to set up your next appointment? And you say, sure. You get out your calendar on your phone, you set your next appointment, you set an alert, you know what I'm saying, so that it don't sneak up on you, and you set your appointment. When you go to the doctor and you know, getting out and you check it out or whatever, and you need to go to the doctor at least twice a year, minimum once, at least twice a year. They ask you, do you want to set up your next doctor's appointment? They give you a little card. Or you could just get your little mobile device and set your appointment. What do you mean you don't know how to cook for yourself? So everything that you eat, because that's expensive. I can afford to do DoorDash. I know some people out there that can afford to go out to the restaurant every day, DoorDash and all of that stuff. But you mean to tell me that if you just so happen to get hungry, you have to do DoorDash, you have to go get something to eat, or you got to have a woman that come in and cook and clean? Dog, I could do my own. And here's the worst part about it. It's so easy now. We have technology that makes it easier than ever. You can talk to AI. You don't even have to set your appointment. You could literally hit the button and tell Apple Intelligence, hey, set this up, do this, order my Instacart. Okay, Instacart, they're going to come in. They're going to do all of the grocery shopping for you. All you got to do is go on the app and say the stuff that you need. Hey, I need broccoli, I need lettuce, tomatoes, eggs. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all like that little paper turkey bacon. I myself preferably like the pork bacon. You know what I'm saying? And you order your stuff and you get everything that you need. Life is easy. Like the way that we complain, and then we're gonna talk about student loans. Trump just recently they just recently did a press thing where he actually said that he talked to China. We're gonna go into Stephen A. Smith, we're gonna go into Shannon Sharpe, we're gonna talk about all of that stuff. But I guess my point that I'm making is that I believe that and this goes for the women too, women should be able to be adults and take care of themselves, pay their own bills, do all of the basic necessities. You should not need a man to survive. Now, if y'all both add value into each other's lives and you know what I'm saying, she do things better or you do things better or y'all want to move into a traditional relationship, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to die if somebody leaves a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, stop getting with these broke people. Ladies, stop getting with broken people looking to fix them. Fellas, stop getting with broke ladies in order to try to fix them so that you can try to make them what you want them to be. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. One of the reasons that I think that Shannon Sharpe is in the position that he's in is because he is dealing with people or dealing with women that are not on his level. Stop dealing with people that are not sufficient adults. Force people to meet an expectation for themselves first before they get into a relationship with you. You should be able to book your own tickets. You should be able to clean your own house. Your house should not be filthy. You should be able to walk in your house. Nobody is coming in here and my house is clean. You see that? It's clean. Clean everywhere. Clean in the whole place. It's simple. It's not dirty. Why is your houses dirty? Why are y'all houses dirty? Whether you're a man or you're a woman. I look on there and they be like, oh my God, it's so hard to stay clean. What do you mean it's hard to stay clean? Why is it difficult to have a clean place? You're telling me that if you don't have a woman in your life, that your house is filthy, that you don't know how to do dishes? You don't know how to wash clothes. You don't know how to wash yourself up. You don't know how to. We need to have an etiquette class. Honest to God, we need to have an etiquette class. We got to have an etiquette class, bro. Seriously. I don't know why people are living filthy. I can't imagine when I run into people and I see their teeth is crusty and grimy. I ain't talking about crooked. You know what I'm saying? That's something different. I ain't talking about crooked teeth. Crooked teeth, that's a whole nother situation. That's something that you can't help. You can fix that later when you get a little bit of money. Get you some braces, get you some Invisalign. If you really get into the money, you can go and get you some veneers, whatever that is, right? But the cleanliness of your teeth, I know your house is dirty. I know your house is dirty. If you don't have the wherewithal to brush your teeth, you nowhere in the world you're going to convince me that you clean your house or that you change your bed sheets regularly. Nowhere in the world you're going to convince me that you change your bed sheets regularly. Absolutely not. My closet may get a little discombobulated because I might come in, oh shoot, take off a hoodie, throw it over there on the hamper, whatever, until I can take it down to the cleaners or whatever like that. But filthy, listen, unorganized and filthy is two different things, bro. Unorganized and filthy is two different things. So we got to be, I hate to have this conversation, but these are basic conversations that's not being had. You should be able to take care of yourself. Every adult should be able to take care of themselves. Nobody should be living like a POS. Nobody should be living like a POS. So yeah, man, that's what I did. Since I couldn't get into my studio this morning because my keys was here, I just came here. I'm gonna get some stuff together. I needed to throw it, you know what I'm saying? I need to unpack my suitcase, throw a couple loads in. And you can throw a load in while in between you working. Okay, so listen, I threw a load in, throw it on quick wash. You know what I'm saying? Throw your Tide Pod in, throw the little pellets in there so it'll smell good. Take it out after however long it take, 45 minutes. Put it on the quick spin. Put it in the dryer. Get your dryer sheets. You know what I'm saying? Get more than one dryer sheet so your stuff smell really, really good when it come out. That way you ain't got to douse yourself with cologne. That way you ain't got to worry about throwing a whole bunch of cologne on you so people be offended at which you can walk around, get you some lotion, get you some soap and water. You're going to smell good. Your clothes going to smell good. You going to smell good. Brush your teeth. You good, bro. That's half the battle. You got you a baddie right there. You like that? You go over to Comic-Con. You know, I keep telling y'all, if y'all need the lowest hanging fruit, go to Comic-Con. You brush your teeth. You smell good. You go to Comic-Con. You beat out 98% of the competition because they're going to be coming in with their hair all messed up, and I have to hurry up and get her. And they shirt not tucked in. They're going to be busted. Head you over to Comic-Con, get you a little baddie. You good. You good to go, big dog. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and Comic-Con is smelly in the U.S. I went. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Just give me all an update on how my day is going so far. Call me Mr. Pig 675 says, thanks for the knowledge and the motivation. I appreciate you. Pierre says, I'm coming for your father GOAT title, AD. Firstborn due in October. I like that. Let's have some competition on who the best father. Raiders versus the Rams, Super Bowl 2026. Nah, I got Lions. The Lions is going to be in the Super Bowl in 2026. Blue Blood Royalty says, good day. Was wondering, have you heard about the Caden Allison trial? Seems like it's getting swept under the rug. Nah, send it to me. I haven't heard about it. I don't know anything about it. David Williams says, I want to go to law school. $122,000. If someone doesn't have the funds to pay for college, but they want to go and they pick a field that could be lucrative, would you advocate for taking out student loans in that scenario? Yes, I would advocate for taking out student loans. However, I think you can minimize the amount that you're taking out in student loans. What I would say is, first of all, why are y'all not working while y'all going to law school? Y'all need to lower the amount of your everyday expenses. Go home, stay with your parents, move in with a roommate, work while you in law school. You need to be having monies that you're contributing towards your education in addition to whatever it is. Like, you don't have to take out the full amount. Y'all know that, right? Like when you go out and you fill out your FAFSA and then they give you whatever your Pell Grant is and then they give you whatever your options are for student loans, you know you don't have to take out the full amount, right? Listen, if you are taking out money for a potentially lucrative career that you're going to embrace, I would suggest that people be very, very frugal. If you look, here's my rule of thumb. If you got to take out $122,000 in student loans, you don't have no time to date because that's time you got to be spent towards working. You don't have no time for no hoes. You don't have no time to date. You don't have no time for fun. You don't have no time to do nothing. Ain't no going out of town. Ain't none of that. You don't have no time for nothing because the time that you could be spending with that chick, you should be spending towards paying off, minimizing the amount that you got to take out in student loans. That's my general sentiment. No nothing. If you got to take out $100,000 in anything, no nothing, no food. Just like my man Rico said, no food, no Chinese food, no nothing. You don't get nothing. No hoes, no nothing. No taking them out, no entertaining it, no partying, no out of town, no flights, no nothing. If you got to take out that amount of money, then that means you need to be grinding. You got to only work part-time. What are you going to be working part-time? Listen, you don't have to do nothing that they say. You got a DoorDash, you got a Grubhub, you got to do all of that stuff. In between the time, listen, sleep, school, work. Sleep, school, work. Sleep, school, work. Sleep, school, hustle. What you mean? Man, we live in 2025. Do you know the amount of hustles that you can do off the books in order to get paid? That's it. That's your life until you get them student loans paid off. No, nothing. No, nothing. Without question says, hey, you heard about the woke judge wife and daughter down in New Mexico getting arrested. They were harboring like 3 teens. I keep hearing about it, but ain't nobody sent it to me. Mitra says, good morning, Anton. Shout out to you, Mitra. Mr. Lott says, you said it several months ago. Don't date the help, ever. 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 Don't ever date the help. Just Christian says, Unc should have went to Comic-Con instead of OnlyFans. Martin Muhammad says, 80, this is why I'm so confused when I hear some women talk, because I'm like, who are these men that don't do facts? Oh, this is what I bring to the table. And I be thinking to myself, I already did all of that. Baby mamas are the most domesticated, or black men are the most domesticated men on the planet, and we help out without anything around the house with pride. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, Martin Muhammad. 392Q says, basic human skills 101. House smells like pine. Oh, yeah, I like that. Dollar Bill says, bust down your chick tour 2025, Anton, Charleston White, and Aristotle. Shout out to Aristotle and Charleston White. 392Q says, when I was a cable install tech, I've seen it all. Roaches coming out of the cable box. I couldn't do that job. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of jobs that I can do. That's not one of them. I'd rather work on an oil boat, on an oil rig. I'd rather work in the oil fields or the oil rig than be a cable install guy with all of the stuff that y'all would see. Dishes in the bathroom sink, baby diapers everywhere. Shh. But they getting cable though. You should come to San Diego during Comic-Con and do the. I'm going to Comic-Con. I'm going to Comic-Con. Dollar Bill says, Anton, can I come on a buzz down your chick tour? For sure. Absolutely. Shout out to you, says, I don't know what that is. Says, thank you for your Tuesday show, Anton. I laughed so hard I couldn't sleep until 7 a.m. It was absolutely a pleasure listening. As always, you roast the gang sign throwing guy was best. Thank you. Shout out to all of my people that's overseas that's checking in. I appreciate y'all. Latrell, I appreciate you. Without question says, check your email. I sent it. Bet. Victor Williams says, the military will pay for law school, but there's a commitment to serve in the Judge Advocate General's Corps, the JAG Corps. If you want it, go get it. There you go. There you go. That's it. Y'all, if y'all really want this, then y'all got to make the sacrifice to get it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat that's getting it in. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and address this Shannon Sharpe issue. So Shannon Sharpe is stepping away from ESPN, and let me share my screen with you guys. Shannon Sharpe is stepping away from ESPN in the wake of this sexual assault lawsuit. And I'm not going to spend no more than 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to go straight into Stephen A. Smith and his commentary on it. But he's stepping away from stepping away from ESPN as a result of this sexual assault lawsuit. Now, it goes on to say that he announced Thursday he's going to step aside temporarily from his duties at ESPN in the wake of a $50 million lawsuit accusing him of rape. The 56-year-old Denver Broncos tight end said that he needs time away from the studios to fight allegations that he called false and disruptive. That's not true. It's not true. Shannon Sharpe was live yesterday, and he had a significant amount of people. Some people told me that he had over 35,000 people watching at the time. That's not true. No man ever needs time away from his job in order to fight the allegations. No, that's not true. Him and Disney came to an agreement, and what happened was they decided, I'm going to read Cash App shortly, y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. What happens is they decided that it's not a good look for the studio, but at the same time, they also value his contribution because let's be clear, Shannon Sharpe is one of the top dogs when it comes to commentary, sports analyst, and visibility when it comes to popular culture. Thank you for that super chat. I'm going to read it shortly. Shannon Sharpe is one of the top dogs, if not the top dog, when it comes to visibility on platforms. So ESPN has invested a significant amount of money to get Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been great for ESPN. ESPN has been great for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe continues to build his brand. But this is just a statement. This is not the truth. When you're going live for the draft and you're still working, it's not like he's going to stop working and he's going to disappear. He is very much still visible. And I think that that's the best way to do it because all of this is eventually going to go away. I know a lot of people is on it. There's always going to be somebody else that comes along at some point that, we use as an example. And last year it was this people. This year is Shannon Sharpe. But Shannon Sharpe 100% is going to still stay working. And they're just going to wait till this blows over a little bit more so that he can then start getting back into football season. And that's going to start, I believe, in July. Preseason will start in July. I think that August, September, October, that's when we start to really, really gear up for football season, right? So, when he says he's stepping away to fight the allegations, he's been probably fighting this allegation for a long time. And we know this because there's already been reports that say that Shannon Sharpe has offered $10 million. Lanny Davis concedes that Sharpe previously made a settlement offer of at least $10 million. Now, I don't know any 20, 25, 30-year-old woman that is turning down $10 million. So for her to do that is crazy. She clearly has somebody that she's working with and has a battery in her back. But Shannon Sharpe recently released a statement. Let me share it with you guys. This is a statement that he made less than 20 hours ago. So this was yesterday. And the statement reads, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question is 100% consensual. I believe that. He says, at this juncture, I'm electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I don't think that he had a choice. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. And I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason. ESPN is not stupid. They're not going to let go somebody like Shannon Sharpe. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, and colleagues. Sincerely, Shannon Sharpe." So this is Shannon Sharpe's statement. All right. Now, again, I think that there's different ways for men to help themselves not get in this situation in the first place. But before I start to share with y'all my thoughts on Shannon Sharpe being able to help himself and other men being able to help themselves, because I don't believe that we're ever, as men, especially visibility and as more, as you make more resources, get more money and all of that stuff, I don't believe that we're ever in the clear. I don't believe that we're ever in the clear at all. That has been proven over several conversations that I've had over the last previous days, whether it's on After Hours or the Q Show or all of that stuff, is that no matter what, and we've been telling men for the longest, that men don't have a safety net. The victim will now become the villain. Shannon Sharpe in this situation, in my opinion, is the victim because this is clearly a shakedown. But the conversations have nothing to do with who this woman is. I don't see nobody bringing her to the front of the congregation. I don't see anybody saying her name. I don't see anybody saying that she's a bad actor. I don't see any women holding her accountable. You know what they say? Well, how will we be able to hold the woman accountable? But y'all don't have no problem with holding Shannon Sharpe accountable. And the reason that is because men, no matter what, and this is why we say y'all never be able to be us, men, no matter what, under all circumstances, will always, and I repeat, always be held accountable. Robert Dalton just said it. Shannon is not a victim. You can see it right here in the chat right now. You can see it right in the chat right now. Somebody said it also. AIM Major. Shout out to AIM Major. They said they praised Tracy Ellis Ross. Tracy Ellis Ross went on Michelle Obama's podcast, and she said that she deals with young men because older men exhibit toxic masculinity, and nobody blinked an eye. Shannon Sharpe and Tracy Ellis Ross are the same age. Shannon Sharpe and Tracy Ellis Ross are both in their mid-50s. Tracy Ellis Ross said, I deal with younger men because older men, Michelle Obama clapped it up for, yeah, girl, they need a bedpan the way that they acting, these older men. Same age. As a matter of fact, I think that Tracy Ellis Ross might be a little bit older than her. Nobody blinked. Nobody blinked an eye. Everybody was like, yeah, girl, Tracy, talk to those young men and all of this stuff. This is how I'm telling you that we're not equal. We're not equal. Nobody blinked an eye. Women was like, yep, because you know what I seen? You know what I seen? It was a whole bunch of women that came out and said, yeah, because these YNs, girl, they love us. These YNs, they be chasing us. I mean, I was in a grocery store and this man, he couldn't have been no older than 20, 21, 22 years old. And I said, I'm old enough to be your mom. Honest to God, I seen video after video after video of women saying, I'm old enough to be your mama. But yeah, girl, I mean, one of them gonna get me. Translation, she gave him her number. She just didn't want to admit it to the people. But that's the modification of the story so that she'll be acceptable and she don't have to be held accountable. Nobody is holding women accountable for talking to younger men. Nobody. Aisha Howard trapped both Lil Baby and 21, 22-year-old Anthony Edwards into a baby. Nobody blinked an eye. Nobody blinked an eye. At all. When Shannon Sharpe said, yeah, man, I met this chick at the gym and we had a consensual relationship, that's because he don't deal with women his age. Look at Tracy's take. That can't be your opinion, Anton. You're smarter than that. Why can't it be my opinion? I'm just calling a spade a spade. Tell me what I'm saying that's not facts. I'm personally not interested in younger women. I have been on record for years. I've been on YouTube for well over 10 years. I've always said I am not interested. There's nothing that's interesting about a younger woman. This has nothing to do with morality as far as whether or not you're married or not married. This has nothing to do with whether or not I believe in it or not. I'm just stating the facts. The facts are that Tracy Ellis Ross said on one hand in front of the former president's wife, who seems to be having her own marital issues, I only date younger men now because older men are toxic. Shannon Sharpe got caught up with a younger chick and he's being shook down for $50 million. And they're saying he should have dated a woman his age and he wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. They didn't say, wait a minute, he's the victim. Why are we allowing for this woman to do this? They said that he should be dating. I've seen tons of women with gray in their head that ain't have no edges said that he should be dating women his age and this wouldn't happen. Should Shannon Sharpe be dating women that's in the same space as him, women that have something to lose, that way he don't find himself in a situation in the first place? Yeah, but I don't think that stops him from finding himself in this situation in the first place. If we all remember Joy Taylor was named in the lawsuit by her own homegirl saying that she would be willing to do this against another man. And she ain't no younger woman. She is not a younger woman. Look, the point that I'm making to you guys is you have to be very, very careful about the company that you keep, because as men, we will never get the same grace as the women that ask for, advocate for, and advocate against updating family court laws and continue to say that they want to be equal with men. We will never get the grace, ever. Tony Busby and this woman's goal was to kill and destroy Shannon Sharpe in the court of public opinion before it ever even hit the courts. That's why they started to do the stuff that they was doing. That's why she started to record and say the things that she says before it ever even got released to the general public. Shannon Sharpe was being set up a long time ago, and some of y'all are being set up. Some of y'all wives are recording y'all and recording y'all conversations just in case. I'm telling you, some of the women that you sleep with every day is recording y'all and recording y'all conversations every day. And they're doing it so that they can use it as leverage because they're evil, evil people. You would not believe the amount of men that have been shook down, taken advantage of, and they have 100% had to give over into the whims and the woes of a lot of these people, and it never even came to light. This is just the ones that we now starting to know about because they took a different strategy to kill his reputation in the court of public opinion. But I'm telling you that women every single day that we breathe, every minute that we breathe, there's a man getting shook down, and you don't even know about it because he just got took to the cleaners. Every day. Every day. Every day, there is a man getting shook down. Every single day, and you don't even know about it. And I guarantee you that the people in this chat, a lot of these women, they don't even give a flying F about it. They don't care. You are on your own. You are on your own. Protect yourself. Be careful of the company that you keep. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your enemies close and your friends close and your enemies even closer. I'm telling you, there are people every single day. I've been telling y'all, I've been warning y'all. I said it. I said that this was going to trickle over into every other guy, that women are going to start getting wise and they're going to start using this as a tactic to get themselves rich because they're not trying to work. And I'm also going to tell you again for the 100th time that this is going to affect regular everyday guys. And if you have any level of success relatively to the space that you in, you are a target. Move accordingly. Move accordingly. Be very careful. Keep people at arm's length. Look at it from a business perspective. Have them sign the paperwork every single time they come in contact with you and they interact with you. Force them to sign the contract. Force them to sign the paperwork. Get your DocuSigns together. Be careful of the people that you surround yourself with. Don't hang out with people that's not on your level. Don't hang out with people that's not on your level. Don't hang out with people that's not on your level. And see, for example, Chill Play says the only solution is de-discipline. It's not true. I don't know how many times that even Jay-Z's situation has to show you. She never even met him. She never even got in the room with him. People were willing to throw Jay-Z under the bus and kill his reputation and try to take his money, and she never, ever met him. Has nothing to do with de-discipline. The same lawyer went after Jay-Z and they never even was in the room together. For whatever reason, y'all are missing it. We are in unprecedented times. You are missing it. It doesn't even matter. It is the people that you even come in contact with. It is the fact that you need to gird up and be proactively ahead of this, be 10 steps ahead of everybody 100% of the time. It's not enough to not do the wrong thing. It's not enough to just be married. It's not enough to just be consenting. You have to be 10 steps ahead of everybody 100% of the times. You got to see it before it even happens and cut it off and deal with it accordingly. Should Shannon Sharpe be moving different? 100%. 100% Shannon Sharpe should be moving differently. 100%. He willy-nilly. He out here with his two replaced hips, moving around like Miss Netta. Doesn't mean that he deserved what he's getting, but he's an example for how we need to be moving more efficiently, accordingly, and being careful of the company that we keep. 100%. 100%. He does not deserve what he's getting, but he is absolutely being made an example of. And if you're not heeding the warning, then you absolutely 100%. And let me also say this to y'all. Because some of y'all ain't where y'all going to be at. And you can't see where you're going, and you're going to evolve, and you're going to be better, and you're going to be greater, and you're going to be much more successful than you are today. Let me tell you something. You think that you can do the stuff that you're doing today, and it's going to come back and bite you when you become mega successful. The things that you're doing when you're 20, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, boy, I'm telling you, they can't wait to see you become more successful so that they can come back and say, you know what? But when we were this age, when we was that age, and when this happened, they can't wait. Every single thing that you do. This is why I live my life transparent and like an open book. This is why nobody, zero people in my past, zero people that I went to high school with. I am the same person today as I was back then. This is why I am incredibly thankful that I did not get like a crazy amount of money when I was younger. Crazy amount of money. Because I'm not sure that my character was in a space and that I had the foresight to make better decisions of the people that I would surround myself with had I got a crazy bag back then. I ain't just talking about from women either. I'm talking about the dudes that y'all call y'all homeboys. Bro, they don't like you. You got snakes in the grass. Yeah, man, we cool. You telling all your business. Y'all out here talking about the chicks that y'all done slept with other dudes that's going to disappear and that's going to get desperate. He going to set you up. He going to want to get money from you. He going to send a chick over to your place to set you up. Man, I'm telling you, I done seen it all. I've seen it all. Be careful. Be very, 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 very careful. Very careful of the people that you keep around you. I say it all the time. Your relationships, not just the people that you lay next to, but the people that you call your friend. Your relationships should be with people that are going in the same direction that you're going in. If you can't see them adding value and growing with you, vet for the person that you to become, not the person who you are. Vet for the person that you are to become, not the person who you are. It's bad out here. And even though you may not deserve it, nobody cares. Nobody gonna give you any mercy. That's the lesson that I got from Shannon Sharpe. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. We'll turn your notification. Y'all keep on tricking. No, man, it ain't tricking if you got it. You made yourself a target. The minute that you start offering money, you made yourself a target. Her ears perked up. Her mindset changed towards you. You're a target now. No, man, I'm gonna just pay and let her go. No, you're not. She's like a bad Freddy dream. Every time that you go to sleep, she's going to be there. Shannon paid. Shannon didn't only pay, according to his lawyer, he offered a $10 million settlement. She said, no, I want everything. I want everything. I want everything. Oh, man, we are in a bad space in society and men are under attack. And I'm going to tell you, I told you so. Again, I always do. Let me read some of these super chats. We're going to go ahead and deep dive into the show. I'm going to get into Stephen A. Smith after this. Mrs. Freckles says, I'm so blessed to be alive today. Thank you for the consistent motivation and accountability. Keep it up, bag chase. Shout out to Miss Freckles. Man, if y'all not going to be on tour, I'm sorry, not on tour. At the meetups, come and hang out at the meetups. I know y'all want to have a good time. Shell Shock says, happy Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. No fumbling. Keyshawn White says that Monique video was prophetic. I disagree. LL Unkman says, Time Dog, a second woman accusing Michelle Bundy. Second woman accusing Michelle Bundy. Oh, that's coming out of the woodwork again, Shannon Sharpe. I heard that Tasha K about to do a live stream with some ex-woman. Somebody told me this morning, they said, did you see that interview with Tasha K? Some woman is going to be on Tasha K talking about Shannon Sharpe. I said, well, what they going to be talking about? She said that she dated him for 10 years and she liked to put her hand. It's Friday, right? She said she dated him for 10 years and he liked to get. I can't even say it. I'm not going to say it. I can't bring myself to say it. I can't bring myself to say it. Oh, hold on. Somebody said, I want to take my daughter with me to DC for the first time, so I'll be missing the DC meetup. No, take your daughter to DC on another day and then come to the DC meetup. That's what she said. She said something like 3 fingers or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, let me continue on. Uncut Underground says, whatever happens after you trust a woman is your fault. Uncut. But what if you get accused and you wasn't even in the same room as her? I seen Derrick Rose get accused of some stuff and he wasn't even in the same room as a chick. Rich Steve says, where Tracy Ellis Ross hang out? I need that lawsuit. Master Irrigation says, any aged female can lie and say a man did something to her so dumb. So the dumb women will say that are wall-hitting, effed out 304s. They looking to get a retirement package. Kay Cooper says, no, it's the fact that she's an OF and that was his mistake. They are sex workers and liars. He didn't meet an OF. He met her in a gym. Kay Cooper, he met her in a gym. Uncut Underground says Shannon was tricking, not dating. He's getting the results of a zero respect transactional situation. She had nothing to lose by throwing him under the bus. Master Irrigation says, why the Pookie and Ray Rays never get sued? Because they ain't got nothing to sue you for. They can't take you to court for something you ain't got. Jay Hunter Lee says it's not about the morals of the older woman. They're just upset that younger women are competition and they're winning. This is why they're rooting against Shannon Sharpe. I don't think that's the truth. I think that they just hate men. I think that they hate men. Shell Sock says, not Shannon out here moving like Ms. Netta. Investing your IQ says, bring your best one. Master Irrigation says, in South Florida, in the words of JT Money and the Poison Clan, put Ish past no 304. Rahi Dash says, Michael Irvin had a conversation and woke up to allegations. Facts. And he never even did anything. And Forrester 2K9 says, why does everybody have an opinion on what a man should be doing, but somehow women have the free reign to do whatever they want and it's all good? Matt Washington says, facts, Anton. I hit up a female one day and she brought up an argument we had years before and sent me a screenshot of the text. You better get away from her. These females are holding messages for years in case you make it so they can always have dirt on you. Bring Your Best says she wasn't even bad. Stop paying for budget looks. Vaughn says, hi, AD, when are you coming to New Jersey? When should I come to New Jersey, Vaughn? You tell me when am I coming to New Jersey. I like to come in. Actually, I'm going to be in Atlantic City probably in less than a month. Me University says non-penetrators got the green light from the elites. Why didn't he fight her? Why didn't he fight her crap? What do you mean why he didn't fight her crap? I don't know what it means. Shout out to y'all. Also, I want to give a shout out to Mike That Dude. Thank you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Spencer Campbell says, good morning, AD. And thank you. Rand Wilson says 19 years and $48 million in restitution for former CFO of Detroit. Yeah, I seen that too. Everybody keep telling me to talk about that. I'll talk about it on Monday if y'all want me to. Thank you for the great content, says Spencer Campbell. Thank y'all to everybody that support the platform. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Let me deep dive a little bit more. So I've been saying that I wanted to go into this and find out exactly what Stephen A. Smith felt about this. So I don't plan on playing the whole thing because it's 20 minutes long, but I do want to get into it. So this is Stephen A. Smith speaking on Shannon Sharpe's situation.
Stephen A. Smith Show coming at you over the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. As always, thanking all of y'all for your support for watching the show and what have you. The millions of downloads I received over iHeartRadio. Subscribers now eclipsing 1.18 million. Thank you so much for the love and support. And it's where we're getting started. Colleague at ESPN and my friend. The Hall of Fame tight end was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. The plaintiff alleges Sharpe sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025.
All right, I don't need to hear all that.
The suit also alleges that Shannon engaged in the intentional infliction of emotional distress. It should be noted that the suit was filed by attorney Tony Busby. This is the same attorney that filed a suit against Jay-Z. Suit is not the woman heard in the accidental Instagram live stream incident that made headlines last September of last year. In response to the suit, Shannon and his legal team went to social media yesterday and released this. Jane Doe's attorney, Tony Busby, sent TMZ.
I want to get to his opinion.
Shannon Sharpe is somebody I work with a couple of days a week. Shannon Sharpe is somebody that I brought to ESPN. Works on First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. He's been with me every Monday and Tuesday. We've been number one for 13 years and counting. But since Shannon has arrived, obviously he's helped the show immensely. And I can't thank him enough for it. We've grown close as friends. I'd like to believe that. I certainly root for him. I know he's been through a lot in life. He's overcome a lot of things. And when he departed from Fox, I was more than happy to bring him on board here. So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports. And I can speak about ESPN and Disney. To be clear, even though this podcast, this YouTube show is owned and operated by me solely, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be dismissive of ESPN, who employs me in my daytime job on First Take. So I sit here before you today letting you know that they are aware that this is a subject that I was going to broach, because I owe them that courtesy.
I will say that Stephen A. Smith is very, very smart. Stephen A. Smith is very smart. He took the blueprint from Shannon Sharpe to build his own platform that also probably gave him more leverage in negotiating a better contract in which he got to the bag. And so Stephen A. Smith got his $100 million bag from Disney also. But let me say this. Stephen A. Smith is the epitome of a professional. I have to give him that. I don't always agree with Stephen A. Smith, especially from his political takes. I think that he is very much carrying and is the face of ESPN. I will also say, and I have to give him credit, I got to give credit objectively where credit is due. Stephen A. Smith is a really great blueprint for how to remain professional, meet the expectations, and not get caught up in no BS. The very fact that he alerted his employer. See, this is the thing that a lot of us don't do. We say, well, it's our platform. We can do whatever we want to do. No, just because it's your platform does not mean that you should not take into consideration everything that is going to affect your employers, which is one of the reasons why ESPN felt comfortable giving him his $100 million. He said, listen, I told them, and this is something that they're aware of. They know that I'm going to broach this subject and I am going to have this conversation. That is very professional of Stephen A. Smith. And this is one of the reasons why he get paid the big bucks. This is one of the reasons why you get paid the big bucks. This is how you have to be proactive in handling the situation.
With that being said, it's important to point out a couple of things. Number one, I was not there. I can provide no eyewitness account. And even though I got love and respect for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him, I can't sit here and speak to his innocence or guilt from a knowledgeable place, because I have nothing to do with this. I haven't seen anything. I don't know anything. I don't even know this person. I know what the reports say. I know the reports, the things that have been reported on a multitude of outlets, from the AP to the New York Post to Forbes to TMZ and everything in between. I mean, I can't even count the number of publications that have talked about it or written about it, networks, etc. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And I know that. I'm fully aware of that. This is not a criminal case. So there is no concern about him going to jail. This is a civil case, which means that he can either be found liable or not liable. The accuser in question is seeking $50 million. That was confirmed by Shannon Sharpe on that video today. According to the reports, it's somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time. According to some audio that was put out earlier today by attorney Busby, you hear the accuser, the female, talking to somebody who is alleged to be Shannon Sharpe. We don't know whether that's true or not. And the person in question, again, we don't know whether it's Shannon or not, the words choke, as in I will choke the hell out of you if I saw you. And so because of that, knowing that audio was probably going to come out along with additional tapes, whether they be video or audio is unclear at this particular moment in time, Shannon Sharpe felt compelled to come out in his own defense. How are we to interpret that? Let me be very, very clear about where I'm coming from.
A lot of people in the chat have spread misinformation and saying that Shannon Sharpe is fired. Shannon Sharpe is not fired. Him and ESPN decided that he is going to step away from the studio temporarily until the preseason of football. So he still is going to work for ESPN. He is still getting the bag, and he is not fired from ESPN. He is not let go. All right. So I just want to make sure that we're all clear on the facts that's been reported so far.
I'm a bit torn in terms of his response. On one hand, Tony Busby has sued Jay-Z. He did sue Diddy. He did accuse them, or represented the woman who was accusing them of assault, of sexual assault, and said that she was 13 years of age at the time when talking about Jay-Z and Diddy, and Jay-Z went ballistic and emphatically denied it, wouldn't let it go. The case was dropped, and now he's suing Busby, mentioning words like extortion and other things. So when Shannon Sharpe brought up Mr. Busby in that video that we aired and talked about him being extorted,
Connie, he was not fired.
he brought up Mr. Busby and Mr. Busby's past. And he talked about him, going against African-American men.
I know that y'all want to see him fired. I know that y'all want to see him let go. I know that y'all want to see him burned at the stake. You know what the worst part about this is? Y'all was fucking with Shannon Sharpe. Like, y'all was rocking with him. When he gave y'all Cat Williams and he started to really blow up and become the hottest thing on the internet, y'all was all rocking with him. And then slowly but surely, you started to see the snakes come out. You started to see this person say, oh, I got a problem with Shannon. And then this person started going off, and this person started creating the beef with him. And Shannon should have never even acknowledged or started going back and forth with people in the first place. But people was really rocking with Shannon Sharpe. They named him Podcaster of the Year. They said, make sure you killing it, Unc. They start calling him Uncle Shay Sharpe. He helped Ocho Cinco get a bag. He helped this person get a bag. This person get a bag. Everybody was rocking with Shannon Sharpe. But now all of a sudden, ain't nobody rocking with Shannon Sharpe. It's so funny to me. You're the hero until you live long enough to become the villain. You're the hero until you live long enough to become the villain. And then everybody is going to turn away from you. They're going to turn against you for content. They're going to turn against you because that's the popular narrative. They want to see you fired all together. First, y'all was rocking with him when he decided to walk away from my man on Fox News, Skip Bayless. I can't believe Skip talked to him like that. Shannon is the one that carried the show. Shannon is the man on Fox News. He should go off on his own. We supporting you. And then the first time he get accused of something in a shakedown, You see, I knew it. He wasn't no good. Oh, we don't like him.
There's two thoughts there. On one hand, there's the Jay-Z, who obviously should be presumed innocent, not just because you should be presumed innocent until found guilty, but because of the manner in which he fought on his own behalf and has been very aggressive in going after Tony Busby. In the case of P. Diddy, you don't know what to believe. Again, the case against Jay-Z was a civil suit. Diddy was a civil suit. But in Diddy, you don't know what to believe because of all the allegations he's facing. But we can't forget that Tony Busby was also the person that represented at least 24 of
What
the
is
27
it? Okay,
women.
so Erica, what is it that we calling Shannon Sharpe out for exactly? Anton, he made himself the villain. What the F are you talking about? How did he make himself the villain? How did he make himself the villain? Tell me exactly what he did to make himself the villain. Did Shannon Sharpe bust down y'all girl or something? Did he pull up and he bust down your mama at some point, or he spent you from and he didn't give you a autograph signature or something like that? What is you doing? How old is your daughter? How old is your daughter? How old is your daughter? See, I see y'all want to go. Y'all want to go into the dark. Y'all want to go deep. How old is your mama? How old is your mama? Yes, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to defend our Constitution and I'm going to defend our laws that's on the books. He got caught lacking only, Anton, period. Well, now I know that you're gay because no grown man says period, Pooh. No grown man says period, Pooh. See, I know. It's a projection. It's a projection. It's a projection. If you're not a woman, then don't even say period to me. That's number one. All right. Don't ever say period to me. Number two, what exactly did he get caught doing other than getting shook down? Y'all want somebody to fall so bad, bro. Y'all want somebody to fall so bad. Y'all can't wait. You know what? This is why the black community has zero people that are overly successful for an extended period of time before y'all try to take them down. Every single time. Every single time. Everybody got to catch hell at some point in their life. Everybody. I mean, it don't matter if you're a civil rights hero, if you're a podcaster, if you anybody. I see people still talking about Martin Luther King, and he been dead a long time ago, talking about, see, I think he had some side chicks. Every single person in y'all community will fall. And this is the plan. This is literally the plan for y'all. They will never, ever, under any circumstance, let you have somebody that you can use as an example on how you can become successful, because everybody got to have dirt on them. We in this community don't even believe that you can be successful unless you got some dirt on you. Sharpe isn't a good person, and that's a fact. How do you know that he's not a good person? Why? Because he busts down a chick. Now all of a sudden he's not a good person. What you know what he do for his community? What you know what he do for his family? What you know what he do for his brother? How do you know that? Have you met him? Have you met him? It'd be people that look like you, people that stand next to you, people that say that they got love for you, people that say that they holding you down. Those are the worst people in the world. They will turn on you like that. That's why I don't give a fuck. Me personally, that's why I'm going on the toxic I choose you to tour. This is I'm not having a midlife crisis. I'm having a moment in time where I choose to make an example out of niggas. Before you get me, I'm gonna get you. Let me change that. Before you get me, I'm gonna get your girl. I'm busting down mamas. I'm gonna bust down Meemaw. I'm busting down your chick. And if she choose me, I'm choosing her back. She gonna sign the paperwork on camera. And if she choose me, I'm gonna choose her back. And there ain't nothing you gonna do about it. That's why I'm going on tour. Because hey, listen, why not become the villain before they make you the villain? Because if they gotta make you the villain, then that means you're gonna be on defense. I'm going offense. I am the Golden State Warriors during the Kevin Durant, Steph Curry phase. All offense, no defense. I'm all offense, no defense. All offense, no defense this year. See, the guys that are in power, their problem is that they waiting on stuff to happen to them and try to mitigate the process. I think you should just become Thanos. I think that you should become the villain before they make you it. All offense, no defense. Bust down city. Bust down city. Make her sign an NDA consent agreement and then tell her, all right, I'm going to send you home to your husband. I'm going to send you home to your man. If you ever mention my name, I'm going to sue the pants off of you. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Send her home and then get on offense and help her to understand, okay, listen, you do know what this means, right? Oh, what this mean? Listen, I might call you tomorrow. Who knows? A time was had. Go home to your family. Make sure that you kiss him in the mouth. But understand this, though. The terms of this agreement dictate that you can never mention my name. So, but if I see that, trust me, I will use everything in my power to make sure that I deal with this accordingly. Don't wait for her to go and she kick it with Tony Busby. Help her to understand I am Busby. And I'm different because I'm from Detroit. I know people that'll do things that ain't never had nothing before. I don't negotiate the same. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I would rather burn every dollar that I have than give you one of them when you're trying to do me dirty. I believe in being on offense, 100% offense, no defense. We cherry picking at the rim. You know what I'm saying? We running out. As soon as you put the shot up, we got a man on the wing running out to go and catch the layup. We all offense. We putting up 145 points a game every single day, every single night. Being from Detroit is a flex. It's 100% a flex. Okay, watch when you see me in person. Watch when you see me in person. BDT, that's my name. That's my nickname. BDT, you know what that means? Big D time. Watch. It's crazy too. It's crazy. Mr. Snuffleupagus. It's crazy. It's gonna change. We changing the narrative. Anyways, let me play a little bit more Stephen A. Smith. Let's see if he got anything out of this.
Women that accused Deshaun Watson of sexual misconduct along with other allegations. And at least 23 of those cases were settled. So we have an obligation to mention that. So on one hand, going on the offensive to defend himself, I completely understand where Shannon Sharpe is coming from. On the other hand, when his legal team issued out the press release on X,
what up, Heavenly Saint?
yesterday, and they spoke about, they mentioned her name, and they revealed some of those explicit text messages, that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's a strategy that would work. One of the hardest things in the world for all of us to do is to just lay low and be quiet. And let our legal team do it. And we don't always know whether or not that's the right thing to do.
You should come to dinner with me, Cheeks Beauty. You should come to dinner with me. Come hang out. I am a hypocrite. I'm definitely a hypocrite. 1 minute I could be the best thing that ever happened, and I'm going to be all nice. And then the next minute, as soon as you say the wrong thing, it could go that other way. But I promise you're going to have a good time. It's going to change your life, though. You should come to dinner.
I know, and I can tell you all that I spoke to Shannon. Not in details, but I spoke to him. And he emphatically proclaims his innocence. According to Mr. Busby, his client emphatically proclaims his guilt. So where does that leave us? I'd love to tell you that I know the answer to that question, but I don't.
You should email me.
I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN.
I'll get you here.
I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously.
Listen, man, look. This is what I need y'all to do. King of innovation. Bro, you're tripping. You got a wife at home. Don't let a bum trick you out of your position. Can't nobody trick me out of my position, bro. Look, man, look, I don't know if you know this or if y'all new to this platform or if you new to what's going on here, but I really want y'all to understand that. I'm not you. I'm not y'all. I can't be held accountable to the extent that y'all can be held accountable. But you don't think that my chick watched the show or listens to me every single day? I'm not you. Listen, stop putting me in the same position as y'all. I am not you. I say what I want, I move how I want, I do what I want, and I determine what happens. That's it. Nobody has any power over me. Nobody. I don't know what y'all on. That's because I'm playing offense, all offense, no defense. Playing all offense, no defense. Listen. As a matter of fact, I'm about to open up a new business. My new business, if you a dude that's getting some bread and you trying to learn how to be all offense, no defense, you want to maintain your masculinity, you want to maintain your position in life, you want to be able to do what you want to do while at the same time controlling the narrative of what's happening, and you want to be on the tour, hit me up. I'm going to teach you. I should be these people's PR person. I should be these people right hand. My new service that I'm opening up. I'm going to open up a new link on my website tomorrow, this weekend. Come and kick it with Tom Dog. If you got money, you got clout, you got significance, and you want to maintain your masculinity, not be controlled by the narrative, and you want to go all offense, no defense, come kick it with me. I'm going to make sure that you're good. All of y'all, I know y'all watch me. I know y'all always DMing me, Anton, I watch you. Great show today. Come and kick it with me. Stop waiting for people to say stuff about you, and we go on all offense, no defense, 2025, 26, 27, and 28. Come kick it with me. I'm not about to sit here and negotiate with these people. Do you ever see me get caught up in some nonsense? People can't wait. They can't wait. I can't wait. I get chicks sending me DMs all the time. I can't wait till your girl leave you. Girl, and I tell them. I talk to them back. I talk to them. Don't worry about it. I know where you live. I'm going to get your mama to disown you before my girl ever leave me. I promise you. Your mama not even going to want to make you her daughter no more when I get done with her. I choose you. Tell your mama I said what up. Tell your daddy to stop being so mad. I'm not playing. Y'all think I'm playing games. I promise you, I am going to rock your girlfriend's worlds. I want her. I want her. I want her little funky head. I want her nappy weave. I want her lace front. I want to turn it upside down. She gonna have one butterfly eyelash, and she gonna be missing the other one. That little funky BBL she got, we ain't gonna pay no attention to that shit. We don't care nothing about that. I want her. For a limited time only, I want her. And this deal is gonna be gone. And then you can have her back. And she's going to be all woman. She's going to be 100% everything you want her to be. Anyways, let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get over with the next part of the show. Kenneth Brown says, her lawsuit. Oh, I know what you were saying. Margaret J said, the moment my baby mama called the cops on me because I wouldn't give her my son, I made her a single mom. She definitely that type of girl Shannon Sharpe got hemmed up with. That's crazy. Abe the Hunter says, facts about them keeping messages for years. I recently had an ex pull out some old text messages from 8 years ago. Crazy work. Justin P says, false allegations, court remediation, social cancellation, Lakers in 5. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe. Keyshawn White says, please check out Dr. Umar's response. I seen that foolishness. I ain't even done no review video on that. Go on Ticket TV channel. He spoke on this 2 days ago. Michelle Evans filed as well. Me too, them, huh? Saquon says they're doing everything they can to keep black men, people down. I think this whole thing was set up. Bring Erica up and explain, says the average gamer. Shellshock says they flipped on Shannon right after the Amanda Seals interview where she embarrassed herself and black women wanted to cancel him, plain and simple. Upfront Report says, I bet you feel different if that was your daughter. No, I wouldn't feel different if it was your daughter. Control your daughters. My daughter wouldn't even put herself in that position. As your daughter. I bet you would feel different if it was your daughter. I choose you, Tor. Miss Freckle says, hit the like. Dang. Why watch without hitting the free like button? Weirdos. Zoe Cartwright says, people don't understand she played the long game as if that was her kink and built evidence on him. Just look at the text release. Shannon Sharpe got caught being a successful black man that all races loved, especially young men. Can't have a black man be a positive role model. Bob says, crabs in a barrel mixed with a bunch of feminine energy. You get the whole monolith bunch of them. Won't even wait on the verdict. Chad from Moore says, no one's really concerned about how people are so quick to turn on Sharpe. It's more than likely they turn on you in the same way. Facts. That's why I just remove a reckless abandonment. That's why I'm going on tour. Shabo says, it's funny how not so long ago black people used to call Shannon Sharpe gay. Now that he's messed with a white woman, they call him evil. He ain't going to be able to do no right in people's minds. He just need to go ahead and do what he's going to do. Spacer says, with family and friends like these who need enemies. Nate says, they got to put that asterisk next to your name. Dre with the K says, I've learned to just stay away from my own people. They feel like success is a white-only thing. Focus on you and your circle and F everybody else. Jesse V says, all this Shannon Sharpe talk got me buying buns. Dame Dash says, the outrage is only due to the lady being white. Mr. Joe says, black men shaming Unc know damn well they would have went through it with the same girl that's shaking Unc down. Black men are the ones that always tell me that it's easier to pay. Miss Angel says Disney fired Paul Pierce for partying with strippers, which wasn't bad, but this is just wrong. 50-year-olds shouldn't be chasing young sexual partners. We'll tell that to Tracy Ellis Ross, and then we're gonna come back and talk about Shannon Sharpe. LL Music TV says you're a hero until you live long enough to become the villain. These people have deep-rooted hatreds in their hearts. It's sad. Savannah says, Unc said Mr. Snuffleupagus gets time. That's crazy. until y'all talk about Tracy Ellis Ross, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it until y'all talk about Tracy Ellis Ross. Men who don't come from a two-parent home with a real mother and father do not understand what a son learns from their father. We make logical decisions. Coochie, don't rule us. We 10 toes down as leaders. Vaughn LA says, Mrs. Daniels, where are you? Come get your man. I'm about to call somebody right now. Let me see what's going on out in these streets. Let me call a random. Find me a random. Get something popping. Where the randoms at, y'all? Let me see. Find a random that I haven't talked to in a while. Here we go. Here's one.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Hit her with that. Call me. Call me, big head. Hey, bro. Can you label the Detroit chicks that end up on a tour? I got to know those so that I'm getting... No, they all cool. Don't worry about it, Miss Salat. We all going to keep them in the same boat. I'm going all in on y'all this summer. Master Irrigation said, is why I got cameras in and outside of my house. I don't trust nobody. I think she at work. She got a regular desk job. Trady says the true flex is staying filthy rich and preserving your privacy at all costs. Being candid and being open as a rich man is not a flex. Shannon allowed the wolves in the hen house. Shannon Sharpe set himself up for failure. Okay. Add me to the PTO list for the night. Nope. Master Irrigation says, tell these simps to come to South Florida school on how to treat them. Wesley Turner says, nobody hates successful black men more than black folks. Mike Young says, hey, Anton, I would love for you to interview Jesse Lee Peterson. Is that possible? What do you mean? Is it possible? Yeah, is he? Or do you work for him or something? I ran into Jesse Lee. We was both on a set at, we was both on a show on Dr. Phil show. Shout out to Jacqueline. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me close this out real quick. Shout out to everybody on Cash App, too. I appreciate y'all. Absolutely, they did go after. I'll give you my sister's number. She lost and she needs help. Yeah, tell her to holler at me. Tell your sister to call me. I'm cool with that. All right, y'all. Let's move over to the next point of business. What we got? Okay. So let's get in local, and then we're gonna go international. All right. Los Angeles crime. Y'all gotta make sure that y'all protect y'all loved ones, yo. How many people in this chat do we know that is actually living in California right now? How many people do we know that is actually living in California right now? If you are a California resident, you're on your own. That's all I got to say. Let's get into it.
The residents we spoke with say they have become ongoing targets for criminals, and they no longer feel safe in their own homes.
They're usually looking for money, gold, cash, safes, and designer clothing and designer bags.
Security footage shows masked men entering homes in the upscale neighborhood of Beverly Grove.
That's a nice house. That's a nice house. You can always tell how nice a house is by how big their island is. You see how big that refrigerator is? You see how big that island is? And these guys is in there ransacking and running over the place.
They ransack the houses for any high-end items they can find. In this case, they're dragging a large safe.
The thought of somebody being hurt physically or killed by these men is very frightening, and that threat is very real.
Hillary Delaney was home when 3 masked intruders entered her backyard in December. She scared them away, but she says the same criminals are still at it in her neighborhood.
Yo, these guys are just running around in broad daylight. I never thought that I'd see the day as a grown man where in broad daylight, they are robbing houses in upscale neighborhoods. In broad daylight, they are robbing houses in upscale neighborhoods. I never thought that I'd see the day this is happening and getting away with it. And they have the permission of the California governor and they have the permission of the mayor. And they're not getting caught either. And the police is not arriving. You know what the average police response time is once some person reports a crime inside of their neighborhood over in Los Angeles right now? On average, in some neighborhoods, it's approaching 50 minutes. 50 minutes. If you get your house broke into, if they can get in and out, whatever it is that they want in 50 minutes, they usually is scot-free. They don't have to worry about it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
They never found them. We still don't have a lead detective. And we've seen security footage from several other neighbors with these exact same criminals continuing to try to attempt to have home invasion style robberies with other neighbors. And we're extremely concerned about safety.
I think we feel abandoned. I think we feel just like anything else where the city has left services to go down. Police is shorthanded. The police officers are great when we meet them, but they're kind of helpless. So what? We're just out to fend for ourselves?
And that's exactly.
Yep, pretty much. Remember when they used to say that it's the black neighborhoods that you had to worry about and stuff like that? Criminals are smart now. They spreading out. They realize that they've drained their neighborhoods and all of that and all of their neighbors of all of the resources that they can get their hands on. So now they've started to branch out into other neighborhoods, into the more affluent ones, usually where you can see somebody, built like Humpty Dumpty, taking their dog for a walk. They just recently got back from Starbucks. They moved out. They made sure that they had a nice residence. This is possibly a place where I can retire at. And those are the neighborhoods that they're now pilfering.
Exactly what they're doing. Installing extra security cameras, adding window shutters, building fences, and even placing spikes on top for added protection.
Lack of policing in the area that is motivating these burglars to do it because they know they're not going to get caught. And even if they do get caught, there's no repercussion to it.
I just had a situation where a fellow had a burglary. He was in the house. He scared the people away, so there was nothing taken. He called 911, and it took them 49 minutes to get there, and then they didn't want to write a report.
Let me play that again for y'all, for the people in the back.
He scared the people away, so there was nothing taken. He called 911, and it took them 49 minutes to get there, and then they didn't want to write a report.
Why do y'all think that they didn't want to write a report? Azriel, you says, didn't want to write a report? What do you mean they didn't want to write a report? Why do y'all think that they didn't want to write a report? Rich Reloaded says no point in writing a report because nothing was stolen. Somebody finally figured it out because they keep the crime stats down. So this is how they juice the numbers. You can find an episode of this on The Wire. It was called Hamsterdam, right? And so what happens is, in order for them to meet the expectations and to still preserve the reputation of not only the police chief, but the police department and the mayor. And they can come out and say stuff like Brandon Johnson regularly says, even though crime is up, even though people are absolutely moving out and stuff like that, what happens is they then say, well, listen, the data and the statistics are saying that the crime is actually down in Los Angeles. So, even though we're down 2,000 police officers and we have a $1 billion budget deficit, well, look, the numbers say that violent crime is down, that crime is down and violent crime is down. So, you know, you guys can say what you want, but we're doing more with less and we're managing the city effectively. That's because they're not taking reports. They are juicing. We call this creative accounting. We used to think that creative accounting only applied to finances. Oh man, we gonna move it to the next quarter. We gonna take our one-time charges then in order to prop up our stock price so we can do a pump and dump and all of this. No, creative accounting also happens in major cities across the United States of America. So whereas people like Brandon Johnson and Karen Bass and Mike Johnston down there in Denver, they'll sit there and say, no, but actually crime is down. No, they're not taking a police report. When they don't respond, when they don't actually chase anybody. If somebody, for example, says, oh man, you know, they ran off with the car or they carjacked or whatever, so on and so forth. If ShotSpotter, for example, and this is the part that people are not understanding in Chicago, y'all was trying to understand why is Brandon Johnson so adamant about removing ShotSpotter that helps police preventatively actually be able to identify when people are committing crimes in the area, so that they can, because the less that they know, the least they have to report, which also speaks to better crime numbers. If it's not something that you can actually visibly report, then what happens? Then they have to say, well, crime is actually down in this area. It's not. Reported crime is down. Reported, by how you designate that crime is down. MJ Avant said, I got tired for not writing tickets. I need y'all to understand that they are politicians, evil. It's a difference between crime and reported crime. If you want to know what the sentiment of the people is, actually go over there on the ground and see what's happening. Anybody that walks through LA, I've done it on multiple occasions. I have videos on the Anton Daniels channel. Anybody that walks through any part of it, all you got to do is walk through the alley. You can get thousands of reports of crime walking down the alley. Oh man, that's that dope fiend. Oh man, that chick is getting beat up. She's selling box on the street. They trafficking over there. Oh man, they breaking into somebody's car. Oh, they shooting up crack right in the middle of the street. If you're going to sit there and tell me that crime is down, but they have an open drug market, they have an open prostitution market, they have an open crime ring, that the people don't even get a police response within 50 minutes of calling the police for any crime in the area, then they're down 2,000 police officers, how can you accurately report crime? How can you accurately report crime? Walk down the street. It's crime all around you. Crime is normal now.
So then they, of course, say, oh, crimes are down this quarter, which is ridiculous.
I'm telling you that crime is skyrocketing. It is up higher than ever before. But let me tell you that people in Los Angeles have completely lost their minds and they've completely gone crazy. Completely lost their minds and they've completely gone crazy. I'll show you why.
Used a chainsaw to chop down dozens of trees lining the sidewalks in downtown Los Angeles.
Tonight, police say the suspect who was caught on video is under arrest. Mary Beth McDade live with the latest on that arrest and new surveillance video you'll see only on 5. Mary Beth.
Yes, and Mike and Jer, no doubt many in the downtown area are breathing a sigh of relief tonight, hearing that this chainsaw wielding suspect is behind bars tonight. Now, police tell us that when they took him into custody, he still had that power saw with him. He was captured on several security cameras using a chainsaw to cut down multiple trees in front of a building on 8th and Union in the Westlake area of LA on Saturday afternoon around 4.
I was super shocked, and I just couldn't believe somebody could do this. I did see the news over the weekend. Never thought they would target us.
The building manager realized what had happened Monday morning when she got to work.
It was just very sad to see the trees just cut down like that. they're damaged. They can't just grow again.
She then scoured through her security cameras and discovered she had images of the suspected SAR.
He had a chainsaw. It was loud. People were walking by, didn't call the police, didn't do anything.
Do you hear what she just said? He had a chainsaw. It was loud. People were walking by. They didn't call the police. Now, that's a little weird to me. You walking around with a chainsaw on a bicycle with all black now at 4 p.m., 4 p.m., the middle of the daytime, at the busiest time, and you're riding down a street cutting down all the trees, because it wasn't just that building. He cut down a whole lot of trees, and nobody tripped. Not a police officer in sight, not anything. You know what I noticed when I went to Los Angeles? I'll tell you what happened when I went to Los Angeles.
She also reached out to another nearby business owner to see if his cameras had any footage of the incident. And sure enough, he had video of a tall white man with a goatee and a backpack ride up on a bike with a power saw and go to town on his neighbor's trees.
We're shocked that there's people out there that, vandalize properties.
More images surfaced of what police believe is the same suspected vandal sawing down dozens of trees in several areas in the downtown LA area over the past few days. A portion of South Grand Avenue was left treeless, with orange cones now replacing where shade trees once grew. Tuesday evening, the LAPD released a community alert to be on the lookout for the chainsaw-wielding suspect.
Yo, they had to put out an APB, and they had to do a printout and put them up on the poles of this guy that is riding around with nobody stopping him, cutting down all of the trees on the sidewalks in Los Angeles. Yo, family, look, bro. Look, man, it's bad out here, especially in these liberal cities. When I went to Los Angeles, right, they have bike police and they have people like, let's just say, for example, in the areas that's more touristy, for example, right? And so let's say that these police officers are walking down the street. The police officers are so scared. They're scared to touch anybody. They're scared to say anything to anybody. They're scared to do anything to anybody. They're scared to get a lawsuit against them. They're scared of being by themselves so that they don't get mollywopped and ran up on. The police are so scared. Los Angeles, Hollywood, all of these places, that the police officers huddle together and walk down the street in a tight-knit group and just look at people. He over there taking a dookie in the middle of the on the side of the road, on a walk of shame, on a walk of star, Hollywood Walk of Stars. He pissing in the middle of the street. This other guy is scratching fleas off of his head and throwing them on the people and stuff like that. I said, this ain't nothing but hell over here. Anybody that's out and about in Los Angeles, they will tell you that I'm not telling a lie. If you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, if you walked up, now you straight on Rodeo Drive and stuff like that, right? Is that what it's called, Rodeo Drive? If you walk down there, you might be okay. But in most of the places, it smell like piss and dookie all day long, straight up and down. It smelled horrible. And every time, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a Michael Jackson, the old Michael Jackson, the one before he started turning white. They're going to be dancing on the street. Let me read some of these super chats, man. Let's read. I'm telling you, bro. Ice Cube, Nappy Dugout need to be played ASAP. L gun laws in Cali and North and why? Thought we didn't need police, says Pierre. Juju says, in other words, crime rates are up under Trump. How are they up under Trump and Trump has just got into office? That don't even make sense. The most recent crime rates and statistics are actually from 2024, and those haven't even been released yet. Y'all want Trump to be down so bad. Oh, yeah, he got that Obama jacket on. I remember you, Juju. Did you change your name? You changed your name to something else, but you got the same picture. G357, the tactical trucker says, coming to a city near you, Anton's Mr. Steal Your Girl tour. Now, I'm not going to steal her. I choose her too. That's the thing that y'all got confused. I'm not stealing anything. I choose them too. They choose you first. Mr. Joe says, Sanctuary City PDs only investigate when an officer gets unalived. Shell Shock says they started keeping the crime area stats down during the pandemic when them kid boys were stealing and crashing cars and then be released back at it. T says LA is a real life Grand Theft Auto and Chicago is Call of Duty Live. People better get out of these blue cities. Nope, I want them to stay there where they voted. People shouldn't be able to leave the place that they voted for. They shouldn't be able to leave. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Trump, y'all. Let's go over to Trump. I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this. He's actually just recently did a press conference, and he said that he's spoken with the Chinese leaders just recently. Let me say that again. He said he spoke with the president of China several different times. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. And shout out to T. Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. Here's Trump, him recently speaking this morning, y'all.
Asked the president about these ongoing trade negotiations. And here's the president now. You could see him walking out. He's going to take some questions from reporters, including me, on these ongoing trade negotiations with China. Let's take a listen.
You have spoken to President Xi. When did that happen? China says it hasn't happened.
I spoke to him numerous times. So we're leading and going to Rome, where we'll be attending the funeral of Pope Francis. Some of you are going to go. Anybody going? And it's going to be very interesting. We're going to meet with a lot of the foreign leaders. They want to meet. Trade deals are going very well. I think Russia and Ukraine, I think they're coming along. We hope. It's very fragile. And Iran, I think, is going very well. We'll see what happens. We're working on plenty of things that shouldn't be worked on because none of this stuff should have happened. This should have been taken place by Biden. It should have been fixed by Biden, but he couldn't do it, nor could he come close to doing. So anyway, we're going to Rome to pay our respects, and we'll be leaving that same day. We'll be coming back home tomorrow night. And I'll see some of you over there. Otherwise, I'll see you on television.
Meeting this morning. You said you spoke with President Xi. Have you spoken to him since the tariffs? When did you last?
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times. Yeah. From Japan. From Japan, I'm getting along very well with Japan. We're very close to a deal. Will you be meeting with the president? I'll be meeting with the Italian. Yes. Your prime minister? No, the president is Oh, it's possible. How would you the first lady remember Pope Francis, sir? How would you the first? Very well. Good man. He loved the.
Wait a minute. Trump is the only president or the only person that says, I don't want to speak about that, but yeah, I have spoken to him plenty of times. Wait a minute. Hold on. I see something here. You know what I see? Somebody who is moving according to what her husband is saying that she needs to do in order to present herself a certain way. The complete opposite of our queen to be, Michelle Obama, standing out of the way of her husband, waiting for him, right? Got the dope coat on, got the Burberry coat on. I don't know if that's a Burberry coat, but it looked like a Burberry coat, standing by his side, chilling, benefiting, winning, not loud, not getting herself in a situation. Very much, what did the lady say? Demure. Very demure. Chilling, enjoying her husband, about to go take a trip to Rome, going to the Pope's funeral, letting him handle business, not getting upset, not trying to see therapy, not doing any of that stuff. Just very, what do you say, Vanessa? Very demure. High class. Very high, chilling, Not a care in the world, slow motion. Just relax. Got her glasses on. Slow mo, not causing a stir, not causing a problem, not throwing her husband under the bus. Just chilling. Her presence says enough. Her presence says enough. I didn't even know we was going to be talking about Melania, but let's continue.
The world, actually, and he was just a good man. I met him twice. I thought he was a fantastic kind of a guy.
Time magazine that President Xi called you. When did that happen, and what did you discuss?
I'll let you know at the appropriate time. Let's see if we can make a deal.
The Witkoff meeting. Any updates on the Witkoff Putin meeting, sir? The meeting right now. What do you hope to see transpire?
They're meeting with Putin right now as we speak, and we have a lot of things going on. And I think in the end, we're going to end up with a lot of good deals, including tariff deals and trade deals.
I'm sorry,
we're going to make our country
I
rich,
said it's not true.
but we're going to try and get out of war so that we can save
Shout out to my
5,000
dog,
people
Chris
a week.
Basio.
And that's
I
what
like
my
that.
aim is. I want to save 5,000 young men. They happen to be mostly Ukrainian, Russian. 5,000 young Ukrainian and Russian men, and that's a big honor if I can do it. I think we're pretty close. No deadline. I just want to do it as fast as possible. What?
That was smart. I think that he's learning from himself, learning from his past mistakes. One of the things that I said that Trump had one of the very few missteps on was the fact that he promised to have this thing done as soon as he got into office. Now he's saying, nope, you're not going to give me a second time. No deadlines. We just going to get it done when we can get it done. We're going to try to get it done as soon as possible. Lower expectations. Under promise, over deliver. Under promise every single time. Most business people have a very hard time with that because they're just trying to get the deal. So they're going to do anything to get the deal. But if you can get the deal under low expectations and then you over deliver, you get a customer for life. And in this case, you get voters for life.
I think the tariff plan is doing very well. We're resetting the table. We're going to make our country very rich, very, very rich. It's already happening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there the president was taking a few questions from reporters, including me as he was leaving there on Marine One, departing for Rome. We also just now have received these images of the president as he is boarding Air Force One for this trip to Rome to attend the Pope's funeral. The president says that he will be meeting with other world leaders while he is there. We've asked the White House for any more information on who exactly the president plans to meet with, obviously giving his condolences to those who are mourning the loss of Pope Francis, Diane.
And Rachel, the president's also talking about a big headline from overnight, which is him saying that China's President Xi called him to talk trade. So where do these trade negotiations with the U.S. and China stand right now?
And admittedly, Diane, there's a lot of confusion on this. The president did an interview with Time magazine that published early this morning in which the president says that President Xi of China has called him, that they have had a conversation. The president suggested that to me when I asked him several days ago about whether he's had any conversations with China or with President Xi, and he sort of suggested that as well. But he went on the record saying that conversation has happened. And so that was my question to him. You know, you said that you've spoken to President Xi. When did that happen? China says it hasn't happened at all. He says that he's spoken to him numerous times. Then he didn't want to provide any other information on when exactly he has spoken to him. China has put out statements on the record denying that there are any talks, that there are any negotiations, and in fact, even taking it one step further, saying the United States should not confuse the public. So the bottom line here is that we know that these staggering 145% tariffs on Chinese imports is still in place right now. There is no sign that these two sides are reaching a deal, though the president seems very optimistic. And again, the president and the White House not providing any clarity on when exactly the president has talked to President Xi. It's unclear in that answer if he's referencing a past conversation, a conversation since these tariffs went into effect. And when he was asked to clarify, he did not take the opportunity to do so, Diane.
All right, so there you have it. Trump is saying that he talked to China. China is saying that we haven't talked to Trump yet. And they're going back and forth, and I will keep you guys in the loop like I said that I would, and I always have. Just wanted to spend a quick minute on that to make sure that I brought y'all up to speed on what was going on. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show because I want to go to Vivek. Remember when I spoke of Vivek the other day? I want to go to Vivek real quick. Let me see what we got here. Nate, what up, Nate? Says Cali land of fruits and nuts, not the produce. That's pretty good. I'm going to steal that. Yeah, man, I went over to California, bro, and all I seen was fruits and nuts, bro. Fruits and nuts. No, I ain't talking about the produce. I'm going to put my spin on it. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you for that. Let me see what else I got. Keith Murphy, the Unbeaten, says thoughts on stock market being the lowest since 1932 and the dollar losing value daily. This is making America great. I think that people should be dollar cost averaging and making sure that they capitalizing. As a matter of fact, let me look at what the market is doing right now. Market watch. Stocks is doing well. Everything looks good. Yeah, continue to dollar cost average and continue to run it up, y'all. Greatest buying opportunity of all time. Capitalize. All right. Let me see what else is going on. Styles by Ike says, what up, though? I appreciate you. My dog, Chris Basio, says Trump's kids are loyal and stand on business. It's very telling. By the way, shout out to the Americans rooting for China. My stock options are printing. Never bet against the United States of America. That's my dog, Chris. Y'all go and check out his channel. Go to Chris Basio. He put out some incredible content. Incredible content. Shout out to my dog, Chris. I love what you got going on. And one of the best barbers of all time in the building. Vivek, I spoke him up the other day, and I said that for those of you that was not tuned into the show, I was speaking about how Tesla's profits for the past quarter were down 71%, only to I think of like 450 million or something like that, right? Only 450 million. And I was breaking down the markets, but I was also speaking about how Vivek had got out at the right time, and it seems like he was able to foreshadow what the fallout was going to be with the Department of Government Efficiency, especially with his ambitions of running for Ohio governor. But Vivek has recently resurfaced on Fox News, and one of the things that he's speaking about is Harvard's feud with the Trump administration and that they're suing Trump. Trump is withholding funds, saying that they need to make sure that they shore up on the diversity of thought and not on diversity, equity, and inclusion, but merit-based hiring and so on and so forth, right? So Vivek has recently basically reappeared, and he's speaking on this, but I'm also wondering if he's going to speak on him running for Ohio governor or the Department of Government Efficiency. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Will not compromise on its rights during an interview with Lester Holt that aired last night. Have a look.
You're taking on the most powerful man in the world.
We are defending what I believe is one of the most important linchpins of the American economy and way of life, our universities.
How much pain can Harvard absorb here?
We don't know how much we can actually
We're
absorb.
find out,
what we do know is that we cannot compromise on basic principles.
You're going to find out.
Meanwhile, according to a new report, Harvard's endowment, get this, it equates to roughly $7 million per student. Still, the school received over $500 million in federal funding, and that happens annually. But President Trump's war with Harvard received praise from the Anti-Defamation League, the CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt, saying, quote, "It's a good thing." Here with reaction, Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, thank you so much for joining us. I think what people really appreciated about you and your approach is it's very principled. So when you hear the Harvard president talk about we can't compromise because these are the things we stand for, there's a huge disconnect when I see that, because it begs the question, what is it that you really stand for?
Well, look, I speak as somebody who graduated from Harvard back in 2007. The university always leaned left. It leaned left when I was there. But back then, it was an institution that at least cared about free speech and open debate, the pursuit of truth. Veritas is the school's slogan. And so now I think their embrace of free speech is really selective based on which cause they're espousing.
How many of y'all knew that Vivek actually graduated from Harvard in 2007? I didn't know that.
My own view is that they need to get out of the business, and so many of these universities need to get out of the business of indoctrinating and go back to that pursuit of truth. And I predict this could be the beginning of a trend that we see in our country of private universities decoupling themselves from federal funding. Frankly, a lot of these universities have had a lot of mandates rammed down their throat by the Obama administration, by the Biden administration in the era of Title IX. And so the fact of the matter is this issue of the federal government telling universities what to do or not to do is not some new issue. It's an issue that goes back as old as the mid-20th century, if not before, when our federal government was overspending its money anyway. We're in the middle of a national debt crisis. We need to cut down how much our federal government is spending. We need to return as much of that to the states and to the people anyway. So putting aside the spat of the day, this could be the beginning of a broader trend to say that institutions like Harvard have plenty of successful graduates who are able to fund the mission of the university if they find it aligned with their view of the world. Decouple yourself from the federal government. Hillsdale's done it. I visit there from time to time. I think other universities may choose and be wise to follow that trend in the future as well.
You know why they don't do it? You know why these major universities won't do it? Do you know why Harvard feels entitled to over $9 billion in a year for research grants and funding? They feel entitled. Think about that for a second. Do you know why? Because they have now baked that into the university's budget. So I don't believe that these institutions should be depending on federal dollars, especially if you are a private college. It is a private college. They should not be taking American taxpayer dollars, and there's no way in hell that they should be suing the Trump administration for monies that they are not entitled to. That is money that is granted to them, granted that they meet certain expectations that the federal government mandate that they meet, but they should not be entitled to the money. This is crazy. And for the people that are super liberal, that believe that they should stand with Harvard, a private college with a more than $53 billion endowment, I'm amazed at them. And the reason that I'm amazed at them is because some of those same people, watch the hypocrisy. Y'all ready for this? Some of those same people did not keep the same energy when it came to HBCUs. I'm not standing and advocating for an HBCU because I never went. What I am pointing out is the hypocrisy behind standing with an institution like Harvard to get monies from the federal government just because they are against Trump, but then they same people stood against HBCUs. Now, the difference between me and them is that I'm going to be consistent across the board. I'm objective and I'm consistent. What that means is that I'm able to remove my bias against something to call a spade a spade. I try to anyways. I'm not always able to remove my bias because, my whole lived experiences cause for me to lean one way or the other. I try to be as objective as possible though. And I'm always going to call out the hypocrisy. And the interesting thing about that is that how can you be for somebody only because they are for Trump or only because they are against Trump? And this shows you how much they hate Trump and how much they hate America. They hate America so much that they would go against their own perspective, their own worldviews, their own thoughts to say that I stand with Harvard. They don't just stand with Harvard. They stand against America's adversaries. They stand against the very people that are taking advantage of you. You know what that reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the ops. Have you ever seen somebody in your family? Take the movie The Godfather. You know why Michael was so aggravated at Fredo? Is because Fredo always was on the side of the people that Michael was trying to defend him against. Michael understood that Fredo couldn't get right. We in America understand that liberals are out of their mind. And even though they're out of their mind, they're our liberals because they are still Americans. So at the end of the day, we still have to stand with you when we have the ops outside of the building or the ops that are overseas or the people that are taking advantage of you. Why? Even though we know you are a fuck up, we still gonna hold you down. We're gonna still put some money in your pockets. We're gonna let you buzz down cocktail waitresses. It's 2 at a time. But number one, you never stand against the family. You never stand against the family. Liberals are Fredo. Liberals are Fredo. And they're so hypocritical and they're so power hungry, they just want to be in charge, even if it results in the demise of the family. Even, you remember that speech that Fredo says, I can do things too. I may not be the smartest of the bunch. I may not be as smart as you, but I can do things too. They know that they're not in a position to be. You can't even stop banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. And we over here saying, hey, listen, if y'all keep slapping up our brother, if you ever put your hands on my brother again, you're gonna have hell to pay for it. That's America. That's Trump. That's us. That's the conservative. That's people that think logically. We say, listen, we're going to drag y'all to the polls and we're going to tell China, we're going to tell Mexico to stop sending in their people in here. We're going to tell China to stop sending fentanyl in here. We're going to tell China to stop trying to upend the American tax base by putting your husband out of a job because you so liberal, you still want to vote for the thing that's the worst for you. And we telling these countries, hey, listen, keep your hands off of our black women that still voted for y'all to still put their hands on y'all. Have y'all ever dealt or seen a woman that always come to you to crash out when she gets slapped up by her boyfriend, but she always still with her boyfriend? And she wants you to crash out for the boyfriend? That's liberals. Liberals are the very women that we keep telling, hey, listen, you don't need to be under that. Get away from that. You don't want to be in an abusive relationship. Our liberals, our 92%, our super liberal white women, our sassy white men, our men that have no backbone keep following these women to the polls, they are in an abusive relationship. They are in a hypocritical, abusive relationship. And we keep trying to tell them, hey, listen, man. We actually doing the thing to see. Stop being treasonous. Stop going against the family. Stop making us look bad. Stop embarrassing us. We trying to do this thing that's best for America. That's Michael Corleone saying we're trying to do the thing that's best for the family. You're messing up the deal. We're trying to get these casinos. Y'all go watch Godfather and Godfather Part 2. Eventually, we might have to let y'all go. Let you go fishing. The people that watched it, they know what I'm talking about.
Well, what is the proper role of government? You know, we see billions and billions. I think most people are shocked at how many billions of dollars are going to these universities. So what's the proper role of government when it's a public institution versus maybe a private institution? Where are those lines?
Well, I believe the role of government needs to go back to its skeletal roots as our founding fathers envisioned it. Protect private property rights, provide for national defense and security, and on occasion, for the right kinds of projects, provide infrastructure that's the collective action failure for the private sector. That's it. The fact of the matter is our government is failing to do those three things over the last 4 years, certainly while Biden was in office, and really much of the post-Great Society federal government itself. And while it's failing to do the few things that it should do well, secure a border, actually provide for the national defense, actually protect private property rights, it instead finds all kinds of other things to do in the first place. So, Jason, this is a deeper conversation we got to have in our country about what is the proper role of the federal government. And we've created this entitlement state where really everybody, from the individuals, even to institutions, to corporations, to nonprofits, to universities, are suckling at the teat of the taxpayer. I think it's time to end that culture of dependence. Next year, we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. The real Declaration of Independence in the modern day is this. It is independence from the government rather than greater dependence on it.
I think that these private colleges with these huge endowments like Harvard should not be dependent on the federal government. And I think we need to let them go their own way and having more of our resources from taxpayers not go towards them, but actually towards things that's really meaningful to us. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. And I got one more thing that I want to talk to you guys about before I get y'all out of here for the weekend. Pam says, Anton, Remember a stock club here, I'm doing 3% match at work. Okay. Is that the maximum that you can match? Because most people is 5 or 6%. So if you can knock that up to 5 or 6%, unless the match is only 3%, then that's cool. 3% match at work, added another 1%. Wonder if instead I should put that 1% in my Roth IRA. No, I think that it's fine. Just switch it over into a Roth, not the match, because I'm thinking about a TSP. Your Roth 401k. So it doesn't have to be if most jobs have a Roth 401k, not a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is cool too. Either one is cool, but you can still get the match. So for example, you said you put in another 1%. Let's assume for the sake of conversation that you can match up to 6% of whatever you can contribute. Well, if you also do that for a Roth 401k, that means post-tax, the money will still continue to grow while you're still getting the match into your 401k from your employer. All right, so let me break it down from this lens, right? Let's say, for example, I was contributing 100% of my contributions from my regular job into a Roth 401k. Roth 401k is much different than a regular 401k. A 401k is where you get the deduction from a tax perspective. So let's say you make $100,000 a year, and let's say you contribute $20,000. That means you're only going to be taxed on $80,000, but you'll have to pay the taxes once you start drawing from it. The Roth 401k means that I am going to contribute money into this thing, but I'm going to pay the 100% of my taxes of whatever I make, but the money is going to grow tax-free. But whatever it is that your employer is matching doesn't go to a Roth 401k, it goes to a regular 401k. So you'll have to pay taxes on the money that your employer matches you with that goes into it as far as the contribution for a 401k once you start drawing from it. But the monies that you're contributed into the Roth 401k, they'll still match you, but it'll just go into the regular 401k. All right. So you can, but I would only suggest doing that if you're not getting a match from your employer. Whatever it is that you can get the match up to from your employer, that's what you want to get the maximum amount of money from, okay? Never leave no money on the table by not taking advantage of the match. Never leave any money on the table by not taking advantage of the match. A Green says, so what's better? I believe that the Roth 401k is better because it grows tax-free and you never have to be taxed from it. The minimum that you should be doing is a regular 401k, but a lot of people choose a regular 401k because if they contribute enough, it'll lower their tax bracket, right? So if you're making $100,000 a year, but you take advantage of the full $23,000 contribution, then that means that you'll be taxed on $77,000. As a married person, you are in a lower tax bracket, right? So you're paying less taxes up front, or you're paying less taxes up front because you get to go into that lower tax bracket. And your actual adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is the amount of money that you pay taxes on. All right. So a lot of people like to get the upfront tax deduction because it put them in a lower tax bracket. If you make enough money, but you own a business and you have enough write-offs, your adjusted gross income is going to put you into a lower tax bracket anyway. So the goal is not to depend on the money that you make from your regular job. That way you can maximize your contributions, get your 401k match from your job, and at the same time, let your money grow tax-free. Your job give you an 8% match, that's dope. Y'all want a retirement investment? All right, I can do a retirement investment video for y'all on Patreon. But I wanted to make sure I answered your question fully, all right? It's a lot of people that talk money, but they can't even give you the basics. They can't tell you what the difference is from a C student's perspective. They can't relate to you because they've never really leveraged it and had a regular job. They've never maxed out on their 401k or their Roth 401k or their Roth IRA. They don't know what the contribution limits are, and they don't know what the benefits of it is. So I just want to make sure that you guys fully understand it from a benefits perspective, because not only did we talk about the money, we talk about politics, we talk about popular culture, but we all talk about how it comes back to the money. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. If you got a business, your adjusted gross income is going to be lower because you're writing off taxes. You're writing off different things and different expenses that come along with your business anyway, right? So you're not dependent on that. You want to max out on your Roth 401k, and then you want to let that money grow tax-free while getting the match from your regular job, all right? Know what I'm saying? Let me read some more of these super chats. Shout out to you, Pam Pam. Great question. Blue Baggin says, out here simping for Vivek. He don't like you ninjas. He's a fake wannabe white Indian. Keith Murphy says, what is the obsession with DEI? When baseball and basketball integrated, they didn't become more talented or less. Diversity makes you more talented, not less. Look at NBA today versus the 1940s. Thank you for the super chat. This guy has never said one authentic things in his life. He's playing, I want to fit in with the whites. Everything he said is scripted based on the polls and what he thinks people want to hear. Vivek is a billionaire. Anyways, Deidre M says, hi, Anton. I'm starting a cybersecurity degree this summer, graduating in 3 years. Any tips to earn decent money while I'm studying? I don't know what your schedule is like. Are you trying to say earning decent money? I mean, I don't think you should quit your regular job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should really do the same thing that you was using to make income. And I don't think that you have to be doing anything in cybersecurity in order to continue to make money outside of it or while you're still working on this degree. So just don't quit your regular job. I think you should be working while you're doing it. Some people don't feel like they can study and go to school while at the same time working a regular job, and that's why they take out so much in student loans. I just don't think you should quit your regular job. Aaron L says, get rid of the Fed research money and a ton of STEM, PhD and master's degrees are gone. Is this battle worth it? Endowment money can't go to that research yet. I think it's worth it. Payne says, Anton, do you recommend that I study to become an electrician or get certs in IT to go into a cybersecurity role? I think that search should be complementary to your degree in becoming a cybersecurity professional. You got to think about the lifestyle that you want, all right? Electricians make a lot of money. Electricians can create their own business, but are you the type of person to go out there and bid for jobs? Do you want to work for somebody in a traditional role? Are you more hands-on? Do you want to do more physical work? Or do you want to be more cybersecurity based? You can do both. You can go and get your electricians, and then you can go and become a cybersecurity professional after you get that bag. But my point is that you got to figure out what type of lifestyle that you want. A lot of people don't want the physicality that comes along with being an electrician. And then a lot of people also want to take a shortcut and just get certs. I don't think that it's enough to get a cert. I think that you should actually get a degree. And I think that the certs is complementary to the degree. So that's what I would do. OB statistic, and I would probably go into cybersecurity and just get a degree. I wouldn't get the certs. Hey, Anton, what are your thoughts on IULs and FIA starting young? I think that they're fine. Deidre says, also 22, live with my mom, no courting until stable. Oh, you in a great space. You ain't got nothing but time to do but work. You ain't got nothing to do but time and go to school. Dean Murray says, have you ever thought about doing an old money, new money panel with folks like John Hope, Bryant, Chris Gardner, or Donahue Pebbles? No, I'll be open to it. I'm cool with it. I don't have no problem with that. But no, I've never thought about it. I'm wondering why John Bryant is spending so much time doing interviews and going on social media today. I wonder what that is. Purple Haze says, is the meetup date in the Patreon? I didn't see it. It is going to be in the Patreon this weekend. I have been a little bit delayed because I had to catch a flight, but it will be in the Patreon. The meetup date is June 28th in DC, and then I'm going to put the actual location in the Patreon. All right. New the NBA diversity line, what have you. It's not stopping. The NBA did not integrate based off of diversity. The NBA integrated. Okay, so let me do this. The NBA integrated based off of talent and capitalization. Had nothing to do with diversity. You think that the NBA's diversity actually was based off of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it's not. The NBA's diversity was based off of talent. They didn't bring people in that didn't deserve to be there. Diversity, equity, and inclusion actually pushes people out that deserve to be there. If you was a Larry Bird, you was going to be a Larry Bird and you was going to get in and you was going to rock out. If you was a Michael Jordan, you was going to get in and Michael Jordan and be able to rock out. You're talking about the 40s. The 40s was a time where people were discriminated against. It's a difference. All right. This is not stopping me. When I choose not to answer a question or why I just say, okay, you got it. You know what? Thank you for the super chat. I don't feel like telling what should be explained. When you're talking about a time where blacks were discriminated against, and we had segregation and you had to use your own water fountain, you couldn't get certain opportunities, that's different. We have the opportunity to do whatever it is that we want to do and get in based off of merit. So now that we're a merit-based society, we don't need affirmative action. We don't need diversity, equity, and inclusion. People should not be chosen based off of things that they can't control or lifestyles that they choose to live. So when you gave that NBA example, it's not relevant because you can't compare the 1940s to 2025. Today, they're not mandating that a certain amount of black players or segregation be a thing. They're mandating that you can't discriminate against somebody based off of race. That's completely different than somebody getting an opportunity because they're black. You shouldn't get an opportunity because you're black. You shouldn't be discriminated against because you're black. That's a difference. In the 1940s and the 50s and the 60s, you didn't want to be discriminated against. In 2025, you have the option to do what you want to do, and you should be able to get in off of your own merit now that everybody is now able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. You can't stomp me with a stupid question. I just choose not to answer it because I don't want to make you look dumb. You understand what I'm saying? You can't stomp me with a question that's not even relevant to the time frame that we live in. I just appreciate you contributing into the platform, and I know that if I start speaking on it, you may get offended and you may not want to support the platform anymore. So I choose not to answer it, and I just say thank you for the super chat. That's the difference. I'm trying to be more political. And then you double down on the super chat. It was like, I knew it was going to have you. Yeah, no, you're right. You stumped me. You're right. I'm sorry. You stumped me, big dog. You got me. You got me. You got me, bro. Thank you for contributing into the platform. Find a way to get a security clearance and go with a cert. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for continuing to hold us down. Yeah, I try to be politically correct, Pam. I try to be politically correct. Should we pay WNBA players the same amount that we paying regular NBA players? Because we want to be inclusive? Or should we pay them based off of the fact that they losing $10 to $40 million every single year and they're not worth the price that we're charging on the tickets to go and see them? Do you still do calls? I want to book one. My people keep telling me that I don't have time for it. Send me an email, antondaniels413@gmail.com. Send me an email, and I got you. I had another subject, but I think I'm going to wrap it up. For today. I'm 17 minutes over on a Friday, and I got laundry to do. And I also got to go and stop by a place so that I can fill the propane tank so that I can make sure that everything is taken care of for the drywallers. Saving for the night. Somebody said, what was it about? It was about student loans. I'll save it for the next time. Briggs says, I see a lot of people wanting to get into cybersecurity gigs. It's not about the cert or degree. Get a job, put in the years, get the knowledge and experience. I've been in IT for over 15 years, no degree and killing it. Got to go get the experience. Here's the problem though, Briggs, is that to get your foot in the door and the barrier to entry is higher now. I agree with you. 2005 was a better time because there weren't as many people and the barrier to entry was lower. And so you were able to leverage your experience in getting a job and working your way through it and then leveraging that experience to go into different jobs. But I'm saying that the barrier to entry has to be higher now. And so as a result, I think that people should get the degrees. And more importantly, if they decide to move up in their careers, that goes past just being in cybersecurity, they're going to need the degree to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be much more difficult for them to be able to move into certain positions. So I think that the degree actually allows for you to get in easier, but I don't think that that should substitute for the experience. I think that you need both. But having an experience and a degree, I think that helps you get into it more effectively. That's why I tell people to get the degree. Shout out to you. That was a phenomenal super chat though. Anyways, all right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And I will see y'all tonight. No Jasmine Crockett talk tonight. I don't want to talk to her eyelashes today. Don't want to talk to her eyelashes today. All right, y'all. We in there like swimwear tonight. Make sure y'all get in the after hours. If you have not, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I got a surprise for y'all this weekend. I love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to my people overseas kicking it. I love y'all. It's 2:24 a.m. over here and you need to sleep. Happy weekend. Yeah, all right. I got you. Tune in to after hours. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love you too, William. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.